Well, she followed him from concentration camp to concentration camp, and.
But tell about the relationship from the beginning, like how she got to know him.
She was in the same school that I was in, where I told you about the director who was killed later, and then later came the epileptic director, and Maria was one grade above me, and I asked her sometimes to help me in mathematics. She was supposed to be the mathematical whiz, and I did not know anything of that she was connected somehow with this minister Bonhoeffer, who belonged directly to that group who was trying to assassinate him, Hitler. And I, at some point, I tried to get a second job. And there was on the bulletin board a physics professor who needed somebody who spoke both German and English. And I thought I maybe know enough English by that time. It was during the second year that I was here. And he, among those, the letters that I had to translate, he got letters from people whom he had helped with care packages and so on. So at one point he gave me a letter to translate, which was from somebody who survived, who was also part of that, but he managed to survive. And he wrote about Maria, that they had an estate in the east of Germany, and the Russians were coming, and she was asked by her mother to take all her sisters and one or two brothers and go west towards Berlin or somewhere. And she did, and this man who wrote that letter, she was later on telling me, he exaggerated, but in any case, she apparently crossed a very big river, the Oder. She crossed that just a day before the ice broke. Yeah, it was in winter. Well, she said, yeah. I said, you crossed the river, the Oder. The ice melted only the next day. She said. In any case, she got through, and meanwhile, this guy Bonhoeffer had been in jail and was being transported from concentration camp to concentration camp. In the end, he was at in South Germany in a concentration camp, and he was just a few days before the war ended. He was killed, and so that's her story.
Say who Bonhoeffer was. I mean, explain who Bonhoeffer was. I mean, as he's a well-known writer. Poet.
Yeah. He wrote a lot.
Right, but he has a big reputation at this point.
Yeah, he got a real. She finally gave before she died. She gave all the letters from him to Harvard University. In any case, the man who wrote that letter that I translated asked whether there would be something for Maria to do in this country, and this physics professor said, "How about Bryn Mawr?" Which Bryn Mawr has a graduate school at least for mathematics, and she got over. She got some kind of a fellowship, and that's when we got.
I walk a little funny. Thank you. Oh, that's a good picture of you.
When we got acquainted again, I mean, we knew each other, and I remember she stayed with me in a terrible place where cockroaches were queens, they're kings, horrible, and we slept in one big bed. It was a double bed, but there was, these funny lamps that have 3 legs out of iron, and then they have a lampshade you can put up and down.
I remember those. Yeah.
And she got involved in that lamp, during the night, and and says, "My God, you have a ghost here in your room."
Do you think she's still alive?
In any case, we met each other. She had married somebody else, and she was a very optimistic person. And but they were, her family and Bonhoeffer, of course, were totally against Hitler. So, but her father had been killed in the war, and her older brother had been killed in the war. These people had a lot of hard times. Apart from Hitler killing them, also there was a war. People got killed. And people were missing. That is the worst. If somebody's missing, and you
just don't know.
never know, and hope. So, and that was.
Do you know if
yeah,
she's